Hello, hello. I am Ben Pick, and thank you for joining me in Running to Write, where I give questionable writing advice through running metaphors. But tonight we're going to be doing productivity sprints. It is a Monday. Yeah. So cool. Looks like Chris Kenny has a new book out. So Nebula is out now. So check it out. Today was a fun day. Let's do a little recap. So yesterday was Kensington Bookshop Festival, which honestly I was a little bit disappointed in terms of how well I did. I might not participate next year. It is excuse me, I gotta start wasting my throat. Kensington Book Festival, a day of the book festival, is family focused, and my book doesn't really cater towards kids. So everyone I saw who was selling a lot of books has books designed for oh boy, books designed for kids. That's what I'm trying to say. So with books marketed to kids, there was a woman next to me who had a book on poetry for the zoo. There was a guy next to me who had his, I guess you could call it, young adults science fiction novel, but he also had a couple of different things that were definitely geared towards kids. And so I feel like without having a kid's book, the festival I'm always going to be losing money at. And unlike Balticon or AwesomeCon, where I'm still not going to make back my table because those tables are significantly expensive, and I would need to sell, I don't know, 40 or 50 books per weekend. Kensington Book Festival, the atmosphere is different. So what that means is it's more of, like I said, a family friendly festival. And whereas with AwesomeCon or Balticon, thank you, sweetie. I appreciate you. That whip is amazing. Now, sorry, now I'm not choking anymore. So the kids aren't taking a while. The kids aren't the problem. The problem is that the atmosphere. So my book caters towards, a nerdy crowd, a comic book centric, a superhero focused event such as Balticon or AwesomeCon. And it doesn't really cater towards things like a day of the book festival. In fact, there was a wonderful older couple, a couple of seats down, and they got so fed up after like the first maybe hour or two. I don't know how soon it was or how early it was, but I went to lunch. So I guess it might have been 3. So about 1:00. The event started at 11. I went to lunch at 1-ish. So within 2.5 hours, the event hadn't even gone halfway through, and they had already just completely left. Like I was gone for maybe 20 minutes, maybe 30, and their entire table was gone, like everything. So I can understand why. Their books didn't appear to cater towards kids, and so the market wasn't really there. But that being said, I'm still hopeful for AwesomeCon and Balticon. Now, like I said, I won't be making back my table, but those are still really fun events. And for what it's worth, I do technically get a free ticket there. So while I am also obviously selling for most of the time, I also get a chance to go around and experience some of the benefits and some of the sights to see at the various cons. So why was I late today? Last week was a little bit tough with work. I mean, it was relatively light load, but throughout the week, there were a couple of times where I felt like the people around me were doing significantly better work. And would I go again as a visitor, if not exhibitor? I mean, there's nothing stopping me. I think it's a free event to just sort of wander through, or at least I don't see them having registrations or blocked off areas, so you can just wander through the thing. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily. It's 45 minutes from my house. It'll be cool to support local authors, which I always do encourage, but I don't know. I don't feel like, I mean, I am fully filled up in my house in terms of room. So I can't really go out and buy new books, which means that all my indie books that I buy are Kindle versions with very few exceptions. And so I don't know. I don't think there's anything really for me to go as an exhibitor. So I guess I'm part of the problem then. And so anyways, last week there was yeah, I felt like there were people who were just doing some phenomenal work. There was this one guy who walked through this finding he found, and it was incredible. I could understand everything that he did and his thought processes, but I just know that I would not have been able to follow the same process. Um, just because we had different styles in terms of how we test and the things that we look for. And so he had a hunch, he chased it down. And so maybe in the future I'll be able to think if I come across the same situation, the same way that those applications interact, I might be able to do the same thing. I don't honestly know. But anyways, all that to say, what happened today was I basically just got a new application and I more or less looked at it and shook out a high finding or what appears to be a significant issue. I need to verify with the application team about what type of access the test users they provided can and should be able to do. But based on what I'm seeing, this is a pretty good finding. So it is really fun that I didn't honestly even, I mean, I haven't even finished looking through the application. I just tried one specific page and everything just sort of fell out. So that was a fun feeling to have. And then I spent like an hour plus documenting exactly what I did, how I did it, and the assumptions that I'm making that need to be verified by the developers tomorrow. So that's a lot. We are definitely running late, so I'm probably only going to do two 20-minute sessions today. So I think it is time for us to get in some good old-fashioned writing. That being said, how's everybody's week's been? So hopefully pretty good. Have a good weekend, everyone. And let me see your video file. You know what? We can do a 30-minute and 20-minute. So that I think will be a little better. Cool. My brain's mush today. Yeah, I feel it for that one. Any day after a festival, a vendor thing, it's exhausting, it's mentally draining, it's physically draining. So there is that. Oh boy. Yeah. Not much we can do about that. So, there is that. But I'm ready to write. I hope you're ready to write. I will see you all on the other side of 30 minutes as I continue working on the climax of my story. No other way of saying it. So the way it's kind of designed is you have like a pyramid. And so I finished the pyramid last week, and now I'm working on kind of the other side of the pyramid. The action is definitely still rising, but it doesn't really make sense. So you have different points of view as you work your way up to the pyramid, and then you work your way down the pyramid. And so now I'm working my way down the pyramid, even though, like I said, the action is still rising. So it's different points of view, and that's how I'm thinking of it. Because at the top point, there is only one point of view which isn't repeated, and that's kind of a turning point for the previous 5 points of view. So all that is fun little details about what's coming in the story. And yeah, enjoy dissociating. I know you're watching a couple of fun shows, or you can just sit there and read. Either way, however you want to feel productive, I'm choosing to write. I didn't get a chance to write all weekend, so that's how I'm going to do it. But teach their own. And with that, I am going on mute. Do enjoy chilling out and resting, however you choose to spend this 30 minutes. Maybe by the end of it, I'll be able to speak clearly without a little thing stuck in my throat. But I will see you all later. Hello, and welcome back from that. So I did 359 words, which is a decent enough start. I have a couple ideas of where I want to go with that, and I think I will keep going. I'm probably just going to do one more round of 20 minutes since I started so late, and I am mentally struggling at the moment. But that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And yeah, how did your writing sessions go? Rachel, thank you for joining us. Joining in and joining us. Good evening to you too. So ST Houston, Shannon showed up and reminded us to press those like buttons. And then she had to bail out for a different show, but I'm glad she was able to come in here and uh, say hi. No, I'm only going to do one more round, and then I can close things down. So I'll do another 20-minute session, and that should be pretty good. That way I don't feel like I'm burning out. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of struggling with these chapters because I know where I want to go, but I don't want to repeat myself. So I kind of need to figure out where I want to go with these chapters, is probably the best way of putting it. So rather than spin my wheels, I can always um, plan throughout the week and figure out what comes next. But that being said, let me see here. Oh, well, next chapter looks like it has some pretty good ideas. So there is that. Um, hmm. Anyways, yeah, I'm just going to do one more 20-minute session. So that's how things are going tonight. And with that, everything looks good on my side. Let's see. Cool. Then I will set up another 20-minute session and we can get things underway, and then we can all just get on with the rest of our week. That being said, I want to thank all of you for being here. Going to read tonight. Ooh, cool. Reading is always productive too, and it's a great way to unwind after a long, busy day. So I encourage you out there, if you don't feel like writing, if you don't feel like making dinner, if you don't feel like going for a run, working out, staying on a bike, just hang out and read. Nothing wrong with that. And now that I can actually talk and breathe, things are going much better for me. With that out of the way, I think I'm just going to do one more 20-minute session and then call it for the evening. So I will see you all on the other side of 20 minutes. Hey everyone, welcome back. So that is the second sprint. I'm only going to do two tonight. I'm not really feeling it. So I am just going to call it after this, but I will stall for as long as I feel like because it's a Monday and some Mondays are better than others. Pretty pretty tired from the weekend after this one, but yeah. So uh, um anyone get some good productivity done. So I'm up to 619 words for this chapter, which is pretty good. I'll probably double it before the week is out. And that way I can, well, maybe not double it, but maybe get more 300 more words and finish out this chapter. So that way I can start on the next one next week. So right now, this is a Flint chapter. I think next POV is Melissa. And then I can work my way back down on the pyramid. Oh, that's smart. Yeah. I need to get back into social media. I've kind of let all of my stuff slip by the wayside as more and more social media sources are kind of dissolving. I'm still I haven't posted an Instagram in a while. I don't think I've been doing a terrible job this year with social media. Then yeah. I don't really have much else going on. I'm going to be celebrating a couple of birthdays over the next week, which will be wonderful. But I will see you all next Monday. And hopefully by then I'll be a lot more productive with work. I'll have a lot more written. I'll have some relaxing time this weekend. I'm not really planning to do too much to physically expend myself. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. On Saturday, so Sunday was Kensington Row Book Festival, Day of the Book. Kensington Row Bookshop's Day of the Book Festival. Saturday, I spent 5 hours cleaning up my neighborhood. So I cleaned up over 100 gallons of trash and brought back, I don't know, 6 or so shopping carts from the various neighborhoods that take them from Target and Walmart and Lowe's and all those other stores. So they end up like a mile away from where they should be, but whatever. Oh wow. Yeah, that's very smart. Doing a lot of prep work would make it easier. So saying, knowing that this Monday I'm going to post this Tuesday I'm going to post this, whatever. I need to get life to accommodate me a little bit more before I can start setting that up. But I do wish you all the best. And I guess, I guess we should figure out what we're doing for, let me know if you got into AWC, the Authortube writing conference. So that way we can plan for that and figure out what needs to be done. But I'm getting pretty hungry. I'm getting pretty tired. So I will see you all next Monday, where I promise I will do a full 30, 20, 20. I'm not going to let work slow me down. So I'm going to get out to clean up my neighborhood early. That way I can get back here on time. And if I start on time at 6 o'clock, I will definitely get in a 30, 20, 20. So I will owe you all that much. And with that out of the way, have a wonderful Monday night for those of you who it's still early for. Even if it's not, enjoy the rest of the tonight. I hope you all have a very stress-free week. I know it's very difficult to do with all the extenuating circumstances, and seems like every time you turn on the news, things are getting worse. But I will keep writing. I hope you all keep writing. I hope you do whatever makes you happy, whatever makes you feel productive. And I will see you all next week. So have fun. And next time, let's write more together at 6 o'clock Eastern time. So have a wonderful night and take care.